So, hi, people of Leeds Twitter account. I managed to get hold of, I guess these are as close things we've got to our boss in Leeds, I suppose, Tom Riordan, CEO of Leeds City Council. Do you ever think of yourself as kind of leading Leeds? That must be a strange weight to carry around with you, Tom. Eh?
Yeah, no, I don't actually. My boss is the leader of the council, James Lewis, and all the 99 councillors, and the people of Leeds, to be honest, because they pay the taxes, and we try and run the city. So yeah, I always feel it a bit like you flip the traditional hierarchy, where instead of me being at the top, we're there to support the staff to serve the people of the city. So it sounds a bit trite at times to say that, but I really believe that, we've had to do big things, particularly in the last 18 months, to show that leadership at times and show that we can get through this, and people have been fantastic.
Yeah, it's been quite, I was just trying to think, the first time I think I bumped into you was probably Yorkshire Forward. Back in the days, I probably did a couple of events for them as a speaker or a host or something. I can't even remember now. Probably bumped into you a few times, and it's always been great to bump into you. I think one of the questions I've got, these are not going to be big political questions, but I kind of like, how have you managed over the last 18 months? How have you managed just to keep on going, Tom? Because every time the government announced things, I immediately thought of you and your teams thinking, oh, something else has changed, How have you managed to survive, really?
Yeah, it's been the most challenging time of my career, certainly. And I think anybody who's been in local government or one of the agencies trying to support people, it's really all about the team. It always is. It's about the people you're working with and the response of them, and how they, the sort of, I think the last few months have really sort of found out the culture of an organisation, and that's when it really comes down to it, because you can't control things from my office here, or if I was working from home, as I did for a lot of it, and it was really just that the support that you get from the teams that I've been working with. The politicians of all parties have been brilliant during the pandemic. They've sort of worked together for the interest of the city. I think the first lockdown was probably, for those of us actually trying to provide services, that was probably the most challenging, because you say, you get everything sorted, and then it'd get to 5 o'clock and you'd be watching the telly just about to go home, and then it all changed again. And so that was just so challenging, and it was so unique and unknown. It was very, very stressful. I actually had COVID at the time as well, so that made it even harder. But we got through it, and actually, for a lot of people, I think it turned out the winter lockdown was probably the hardest, because it was longer, it was dark nights, it was, but basically, I've got through it because of the people I work with and the people who have been absolutely brilliant in my team.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Let me ask you a couple of quick questions then about Leeds and one about yourself. Is it really true that you play dominoes, Tom? Is that a real thing? Because I've heard this lots of times, and I'm thinking, does he really play dominoes? Is that one of your things?
Yeah, it really is. People shouldn't be surprised that we try to get dominoes registered as an Olympic sport, because it's a game of skill and strategy when you win, but it's a game of luck when you lose. And we have I play in a pub league on a Thursday evening. Actually, it's starting again this Thursday. Really excited. I can get as annoyed about losing at dominoes, because my team, the team I play in, has what you try and avoid in a council, which is a complete blame culture. So you get stabbed in the front, not in the back, by my colleagues in my dominoes team. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it, and it's a great game actually, and a great way of catching up with your friends is probably the reason we do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, something
might sound a bit sad. I know it's a bit stereotypical and northern, but it's a big game in the African Caribbean community. If you go into Hare Hills or Chapeltown, you'll find a lot of people playing dominoes, as you will in leafy North Yorkshire and North Leeds.
That's really interesting. Yeah. So there you go. It was real. So okay.
It is real.
there's a lot of big things around the moment. I was looking at your Twitter and I was thinking, what's Tom passionate about? And I saw that because Channel 4 HQ has just arrived in Leeds. Fantastic. You've been involved in that, as well as all the COVID stuff and that as well. But what I did notice is that you're really passionate advocate of good mental health because of some of your family background. Is that right, Tom?
Yeah. I've had mental health in my family sort of all my life, because my mum's bipolar and is an amazing woman who celebrated her 80th birthday recently with fish and chips on Saltburn Seafront with us. If you've ever tried to get a wheelchair down Saltburn Seafront, then I would advise you not to try, because me and my brother had a bit of a challenge there. But no, so I've always been very aware of it, and my dad had some problems as well when he was alive, and so yeah, I've been a big advocate of both dealing with mental health and bringing it out away from that sort of stigma and into the open. And so we've done loads of work in the council. We have 500 mental health first aiders here. Wow. We have regular sessions where people can talk about how they're feeling. We try and get it out into the open much more, and I think it affects so many people now. We've just done a big survey of young people in Leeds. One in four young women in Leeds have a mental health problem in the last year. So it's a massive issue, and that affects the parents, it affects the family and friends. So we're really trying to do more on this agenda. It's very, as you say, close to my heart. And if anyone wants to get involved, have a look on the website MindMate, which is brilliant, that children have put together, or Mindwell. Mindwell Leeds. There's a great lot of things that you can do and get involved in.
That's fantastic. Now, I'm aware of your time, Tom. I could talk to you all day, but you've got bigger fish to fry than talking to me and people of Leeds on Twitter. So let me ask you one thing, and this is a little bit controversial. Leeds is full of brilliant crown jewels, okay? It's got some amazing stuff. Could you choose the one thing in Leeds that you love the most? Maybe a park or a building, or what do you think?
Wow, that's hard. That is hard. I'd have to go for, I think, probably Roundhay Park, I think, is probably what I would go for. The parks, people, because the city centre is quite compact and you can walk around, which is brilliant. Yeah. Lots of people, actually like me, before I worked here properly in the council, didn't think of Leeds as a green city, but the parks in Leeds are amazing. And the not just the big parks like Roundhay and Golden Acre, but also the community parks across the city are brilliant. So yeah, I nearly said Park Square because I love Park Square. It's a really nice sort of relaxed sort of space in the middle of a bustling city. But yeah, let's go for that. The green option.
Park. I think Roundhay Park will probably be mine as well. So thanks for your time, Tom. I wish you well, and thank you for all you do. And we appreciate your time. Thanks, mate. Thanks,
Lee, and thanks to everybody who's been doing the People of Leeds site as well, which was the first ever. And I did it myself once, which was a challenge that week. So we had a lot of council taxpayers asking about the roads and the bins and everything. But no, it's great. Thanks for doing it.
Thank you. All the best.
Great to see you, Lee. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye now.
Bye.